that is what is going to draw the two of you together. It's not going to be anything else except God. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. If you're new here, welcome. And today's video I'm very excited about. It's a continuation of my singleness series. I've really enjoyed making these videos for you guys, and I know a lot of you have really loved them. So you know by the title of this video, we are talking specifically today about praying for your future husband. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so my last video in the singleness series was on my Dear Future Husband journal, which I have right in front of me right now. You've seen it before. And today, though, we are going to be talking specifically on the prayer section of this journal. Now, when I pray for my future husband, I do try to do so on a daily basis, but it's more just kind of, I don't want to say like quick, but it's just kind of like part of my daily routine. And then I try to, like, once a week or so, sit down and actually write out a longer prayer. So you can see these that are a little bit longer. I'm specifically going to be talking about today the 7 big things or main things that I try and focus on when I'm praying for him, both throughout the week and when I sit down and write a prayer. A lot of times when I sit down and write something, I focus on 1 or 2 of those things. Or sometimes God just kind of lays something on my heart, or maybe he lays something on my heart throughout the week that I feel like I need to actually take time and sit down and pray over. So the first one is his heart. Praying over just his heart, protecting his heart from whatever may be going on in his life. Praying over his heart for the Lord, praying that he would be in constant communion with the Lord and letting the Lord have control of his heart. So I'm going to read little tidbits from what I have written in here just as kind of like examples or help a little bit, but pray what's on your heart over his heart. What's on my heart, what God is laying on my heart to pray over him, I need to be praying over his life and his heart. I was in a place when I was writing this one of, you know, looking at this crazy world that we live in and everything that's going on in it and all of that kind of stuff, and just being like, this world is full of so many different things. It's so confusing. There's all of these truths and lies floating around, and it's really hard to tell the difference between the two sometimes. So that's kind of what I was praying over this day. And I was just like, God, today I want to pray for this man's heart. This world can be confusing and scary. It can be hard to decipher truth from lies and good from evil, and help us to both be fully dependent on you for the truth. And so that was kind of like my prayer that day over his heart, was like, help us to be able to decipher what the heart of God is versus what our natural earthly desires are. Number 2 is praying over his mind. I think the praying over his heart and praying over his mind could kind of go hand in hand together. Like the prayer that I just read for you could kind of be praying over his heart, but also praying over his mind of, you know, when things are put into our heads that we're tempted to believe or tempted to think or tempted to go along with. That's really our minds. And so just praying over his mind that, you know, he would be reminded of the truth, reminded of the love of God, and reminded that that's where his mind needs to be set. Not on the things of this world, but on the things of God. The third thing is going to be protection and circumstances that he is in right now. So this can be both difficult to do, and also something that I personally really like doing, because it makes me feel connected to that person even though I don't know them yet. It makes me really, I think, realize the love and care that I will have for that person one day, and honestly already do. You don't know that person yet. You don't know what situation they may be in. You don't know what circumstances they may be in. But I'm always like praying, like, God, keep him safe, like physically safe, protect him, I mean, it could be a million things going on, and anything can happen. And so I'm always just praying, like, protect him, keep him safe, and then also praying over maybe any circumstances that he may be walking through at that time. Which, like I said, this can be really hard to do because you don't know what those circumstances are. You don't know whether things in his life are going like A plus, like we're thriving here, or if things are maybe like really not good. So always though, taking that time to think about those things, pray about those things, just be like, God, you know what situation he's in, whether it's good or bad, and I'm praying that you would keep him safe through that, protect him through that, strengthen his heart through that. Fourth thing is any qualities or characteristics that are important to you. Now, I'm not talking about, I pray that he's 6 feet tall with blonde hair and blue eyes. No. Sorry, ladies. But I'm talking about, praying that he's reflecting the character of God in his actions. Is he, showing kindness to people? All of those sorts of character traits that are important to you. Honesty, that's a huge one for me. Being truthful, being honest, and it's important that they are practicing those things before you two end up meeting and before you two end up being in a relationship together. So praying over those really important character qualities to you. And then maybe there are, those things that it's like, I would really like this in a guy. Like, it's not wrong to pray for those things. It's wrong to focus on those things. So, I was joking about the whole like blonde hair, blue eyes, 6 feet tall thing. But like at the same time, to me anyways, I'm like, he better be taller than me. Like, and so, pray over those things that are important, fully expectant of God to do whatever he wants to do with that. Number 5 is so important, could arguably be the most important one, and that is his relationship with God. Guys, you need to constantly be praying over his relationship with God. You need to be putting 100% of your focus on your relationship with the Lord, because ultimately at the end of the day, that is what is going to draw the two of you together. It's not going to be anything else except God and your relationship with him, and the fact that you're both chasing after him, that your paths cross. And so that is the thing that I pray over daily, is God, keep him close to you, chase after him. I pray that he has a heart that's chasing after you constantly, that's constantly seeking to know you, that's looking in your word, that is got his whole entire life and mind and heart focused on you and you alone, and that he's pursuing that relationship with you. Because, and I say this a lot, like, I want him to be chasing after you so hard that that's the only way that he will ever find me. Number 6 is your dating relationship. Pray over your future relationship. Pray over the phase of you talking, or whatever people call it. Pray over when you start dating. Pray over those conversations that are going to be had. Pray over both of your hearts, like in that stage. Pray for honesty. Pray for, love and transparency. Pray for all of those things that are so vital in a dating relationship. Because I've said this before on my channel and some of my other videos, like, date someone because you want to see if you'll marry them. That's why you're dating someone in the first place, is to see if you want to marry them someday. And that dating phase of your relationship is so vital to the rest of your relationship. So start praying for it now. Pray for him, but then pray for your relationship together. Pray that, hey, he'll be honest with me, I'll be honest with him. Pray that, you'll be able to have those hard conversations that need to be had. Pray over, the circumstances that you'll meet in, even though you don't know what those are, just be like, God, show us your heart, your hand in however that comes to be. Really focus on praying over just that early stage of your relationship. And then number 7 is praying over your marriage. You haven't met this boy yet. You don't know anything about him. We just talked about praying over that dating stage of your relationship because it is so important and it is so foundational. But ultimately, your marriage, that's the thing that's going to last forever. And starting to pray for that now can make such a difference. Not only just the fact that you are, being intentional and taking that time to be like, I want our marriage to, be strong. I want it to be full of honesty. I want it to be full of love. I want us to be able to grow together. Not just the fact that you're taking the time to think about those things and pray over those things, but also since I started doing that, it completely changed my heart and my perspective on dating and marriage. Of just like, I'm praying for this man that I'm spending the rest of my life with, and I want to take time to not just pray over him and not just pray over me, but pray over us as a whole, because ultimately that's what marriage is. That's 2 people becoming one person, and that relationship is going to be both the best and the hardest thing of your whole life. And I want to pray over that now as I'm praying for him, as I'm praying for myself, just being like, God, you are going to bring us together someday, somehow. We're going to get married, and that relationship is meant to stand the test of time. And that might not always be easy, but I'm already trusting that however you bring us together, however our dating relationship looks, however all of that looks from now until we die, that our marriage would be built on you and that our marriage would be strong in you because we're praying over the 2 of us as one. And I think that's just, it's a really neat thing to be able to think about and do while you're still single. Is, that's coming one day. Go ahead and start praying about it now. Go ahead and start thinking about it now. Recognize those things that like, hey, that might be really hard, down the road in our dating or marriage relationship. And I want to go ahead and pray about that now and think about that now so that my mind around it is centered on the Lord and not myself and not him and not anyone else, but just on God. So I hope those 7 ways to pray for your future husband was helpful, and thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and all the things. Comment down below what other singleness videos you want to see, because I love making these and I want to keep doing more. So leave your suggestions down below. Also, go follow me over on Instagram. It's at Anna Kaylin. It's on the screen right here. And I would love to chat, answer your questions. I post a ton of stuff over there. So if you want to keep up with everything that's going on, that's the place. And don't forget to live in grace and love with grace. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.